Assembly. So we are very clear about the land, and we're not going to shift from that. Anything that seeks to make the EFF shift from what is called a non-negotiable, and then you want to come and negotiate with the ANC, then it means you're not genuine even from the beginning. It's not going to happen. Maybe after some of us are removed in the positions of leadership in the EFF, but for as long as I'm there, I will never present a proposal to the EFF that says we must agree with a mixed ownership of the land. We feel very strong that the land should belong to the state. The state must be the custodian of the land, and all of us must get a permission to occupy, depending on what we want to do, to occupy the land. If you want to build a house, go to the state and explain, I want to build a house and I need so many hectares or so many square meters. It will be allocated. The same with school, the same with church, the same with agriculture. So what does it mean? It means that if you've got a farm in Stellenbosch, you continue to farm in that farm, but you shall receive the permission to do so from the state. So you are farming on a farm that is 100 hectares, you're only using 50 hectares. The state will enter into negotiations and say, continue with your 50, or if you want to expand, you want extra 10, you can engage. That will be allocated so that the remaining should be given to those who also have interest to farm on the piece of land. There is no threat to production. If anything, there is a guarantee to increasing production, because the land that was just lying there not being utilized is now going to be utilized by other people who ordinarily will not have had access if that land was going to be sold to them, because they do not have money to buy the land. So that's where really we come from.
Okay,
the same goes to houses. You stay in this house, it's your house. There was someone who was coming with a crazy idea that a white person owns a house with 8 bedrooms, therefore we want to go into the house of a white person and say, no, you take 2 bedrooms, and then no, we don't want that. We don't want to stay in the houses of white people. We want the land. If there is a land next to where the suburbs of white people are, we'll take the land and allocate it to our people. Why? Closer to you, because that's where resources are. The roads, the water, the electricity, the hospital. So that's what we want. We want to be closer to where development is, because townships were not designed for residential arrangement. They were barracks. They were prison-like. We cannot continue to subject our people to townships, because that will be unwittingly supporting what apartheid regime did, pushing our people into barracks and cells. So we can't do that. We want to come closer to where things are. Can you imagine if people are closer to where they work? Because many of them use 70% of their salaries on transport. When they become closer to work, they save money, and they are able to invest in more other important things than spending money on transport. When we adopted the report, I met outside is the president or the leader of Freedom Front, who said to me, this is just the beginning. We're still going to have a long way. I said to him, I know that. The only thing I'm happy is that I've got age on my side. So I'm prepared to go the long way until we achieve it.